region? And I think those are questions that need to be asked. And I know I can't speak for Jason here, but if I'm blessed enough to win in November, which we think we will, I can't wait to ask these same questions of FEMA's administrators to tell us the answers to why they do things differently via region. Why can't we have some structure and some common sense sometimes?
Just to make sure I understand, I mean, if you're both elected to Congress, will you immediately call a council of local FEMA, Army Corps of Engineers and so forth, and just see what you can all do, maybe meet in one room and see what an action plan would be?
I think that Congressman Costello and Congressman Shimkus have done a good job of taking these organizations. They have been meeting in one room, and they are trying to advance the ball, But this is not a problem that developed, overnight, and this isn't a problem that's going to be resolved overnight. This is something that's going to take a little bit of time. The real pressing issue here isn't who's to blame for anything. The real pressing issue here isn't whose fault it is. Or the real pressing issue right now is that we're standing in the middle of an area with extremely high unemployment, and until this levy problem gets resolved, the capital's not going to be here. The businesses aren't going to be starting. In fact, the businesses are going to continue to leave this area because of the lack of certainty. When we get these levies fixed, the certainty will come back, and that will be a real spark for the local economy in Madison County, in St. Clair County, in Monroe County, and that's what these people need right now. As they're elected officials, I'm focused on improving the lives of those people. I'm not focusing on punishing people for past sins. We've got to move forward from here. So, well, thank you very much for coming out.
Everyone.
Appreciate it, guys.
Either one of you have time to talk about the farm bill?
The farm bill?
Yeah. What's the? That's a big issue to farmers, of course. I want to talk to you about what should be done to get that going. This drought, all city farmers have suffered. What can be done to get a farm bill passed? I think the deadline is September 30. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's frustrating. It's a dereliction of duty of Republicans and Democrats that we haven't addressed a comprehensive farm bill when we're talking about some of the worst weather, worst drought we've had in a generation.
What can we do though? I mean,
well, you can send people like Jason and me to Congress that are willing to work in a bipartisan manner to actually get things done. Right now, Washington's too polarized, and the American public continues to believe that. I hear that when we go door to door. I hear that when we're at public events, that they just don't think that Democrats and Republicans are actually making any progress. And the fact that the Senate hasn't passed a budget in over 4 years is upsetting to many. And that's something that I think when you start to get some common sense leadership in Washington, Jason and me, you'll start to see things get done in the same way that things got done for this project with Congressman Shimkus and Congressman Costello.
When you travel your district and you talk to farmers, what kind of problem? I mean, obviously, corn crop especially. What are you hearing? Are many of them on the edge of bankruptcy? Or,
no, I'm not hearing that,
okay.
and but it's not the year they expected, for obvious reasons. They're worried about their certainty too. They're worried about a strengthened crop insurance program that should be the cornerstone of any comprehensive farm bill, and risk management tools.
Yeah, I think that's the key. What Rodney just said is I've not met a single farmer that's asked for a bailout. I've not come across a single farmer with their hand out. What they're asking is for risk mitigation tools. They're looking for a safety net for situations like this year. That's what we need to make sure we provide them. And it's not a 12-month thing we need to fix. We need to give them some long-term certainty on taxes, on regulations, on the farm bill. We need a farm bill. We need it now. I know Speaker Boehner was in St. Clair County. When he was in St. Clair County, he said there'd be a farm bill in September. So I'd be greatly.
What is the source of logjam? I mean, how would you describe the source of the resistance? It's not a partisan issue, but what's causing it, or what's preventing it from getting passed?
I think partisan politics is preventing it from getting passed. I think it's the polarization of Washington right now and the stagnation that it's led to. And in this particular case, regarding a farm bill, it's a dereliction of duty of Democrats and Republicans that we haven't seen progress. And I look forward, if something doesn't get done, I'm not optimistic it will. I'm not optimistic that they'll come together and find a bipartisan agreement that the president will sign. And when they don't, come January of next year, I look forward to sitting around that table, taking the interests of the 13th District Illinois farmers and making sure those interests are heard.
Do you think the droughts and floods are getting worse because of climate change?
I'm sorry. Yeah, follow-up question.
Here, Mike, they both have this is a big other events to get to.
Yeah, I know you guys. I can walk with you. Just the consequences of the farm bill not getting passed.
they're just not going to have the certainty they need to make long-term investments. And if they make long-term, their long-term investments actually help employ people. 13th District is home to some of the agribusiness connections. It's home to headquarters, State of Lyle is there, GSI, and a whole host of other